today. We're gonna hit the gastrocnemius, which is the main calf muscle, and the soleus, the deeper, smaller calf muscle. So we're gonna hit pretty much all of the lower leg. We're even gonna hit a little bit of a tibialis anterior, this front lower leg muscle next to your shin for good shin support. So I've never been known for having the biggest calves ever, but they are very strong and they're usually pretty cut and defined. So, and calf training is also pretty important for improved athletic performance, whether it's sprinting, whether it's going for a rebound, a jump shot, you know, just even as a stabilizer or balancing muscle group, you know, on a single leg exercise. So very important for pivoting, changing direction. I could go on and on, but calves are not the biggest or most important muscle group, but they shouldn't be overlooked, which is why I'm doing this workout today. So I'll shut up and get started, basically. So first thing we're gonna do, you can use a step, like you can use stairs, or you can just use this cheap workout step right here that I have. We're gonna warm them up nice and easy with low resistance. So we're gonna use body weight in this case. So you can use just a finger or two for support right here, just so you can balance. Just the front 1/3 of your foot on the step, and stretch, get a good stretch all the way down, up and squeeze the calves. Squeeze each one, emphasize each repetition. Lower down, stretch, up and squeeze. If you're an athlete and you're going for explosiveness, you might want to increase the speed a little bit. If you are a bodybuilder trying to just tone up your calves, increase muscle mass, then you really want to do it more slowly and more controlled to emphasize just the muscle contraction and to try and build up the muscle. So you can kind of modify the workout as needed if you're an athlete or a bodybuilder, or do some kind of in-between or half and half if you want to just go for overall general improved function. So just warming up the calves, pretty easy, very simple. Just using a finger or two for support if you want. You can do it with no hands if you want, but it's going to be more difficult, and you might not, you'll improve your balance, but you might not be able to get the muscle contraction, the muscle fatigue you're looking for. So, and that's good. All right, so now we're gonna move on to single leg calf raises, and you can do this with or without the weight. I recommend using a light weight or a moderate weight at first, especially if you're not used to doing these. For single leg calf raises, so use a little bit of balance on the wall, roll on something, stretch, squeeze the top, stretch at the bottom, nice and slow. You don't want to do this too soon or with too much weight if you're not used to it, because you could strain or pull your Achilles tendon. And if you tore your Achilles tendon, it's supposed to be one of the most painful things in the world, so I don't advise taking too much of a risk. Alright, so definitely a lot more difficult on these. Definitely get a good burn, but you definitely want to stop if you feel like you're gonna get a really bad muscle cramp, Charlie horse, muscle spasm, something of that nature. That's not worth continuing on for. All right, so we're gonna do a combination of these standing step calf raises, makeshift seated calf raises, since we don't have a seated calf raise machine where you load the plates onto, and just plain standing dumbbell calf raise, so we can go nice and heavy with different foot position, but we can't go any lower than parallel, lower to the floor, obviously. So let's tighten these up. You don't have to use weight this heavy, especially right off the bat, but just know that you do need to create a lot of stress to improve, or to cause your calves to adapt by getting bigger or stronger, because your calves take a lot of punishment every day, all day. So you gotta do a lot of stuff to make them grow, especially if you have genetically small calves. So we're gonna start off doing some calf raises with your toes out a little bit. And a lot of people will say this doesn't work, this is stupid, or this is just external rotation of the hips, but I have found that it definitely gives you a different burn and it emphasizes kind of the inner calves. I know that sounds kind of like bro science, but I've been doing these since I was 7 years old in gymnastics, and they definitely work and feel them. And now we're gonna do toes in, at least a little bit. These are tough, these are good for balance. A little awkward, it takes some getting used to. But these I found work the outer calves a little bit. Now, up on the toes, rock back on the heels. So as you pull back on your heels, you're working your tibialis anterior. That small muscle on the front of your lower leg by your shin can help reduce shin splints. A little tough to balance though. And notice how when I go back on my heels, I am not sticking my butt back. Trying to stand up nice and tall. Alright. So weights are a little heavy, but that's what I do. Since I don't have a squat rack for calf raises or a Smith machine like you might see at the gym. For seated calf raises, so I'll show you first without weights. Basically, sitting in a chair or anywhere, front 1/3 of your foot is on the step in front of you. Up and squeeze, and actually we're gonna lean forward so we can put a little bit of downward stress on the legs to make it a little easy, more difficult. So, because it's pretty easy without any weight. So you're squeezing, and because your knees are bent, now you're emphasizing your soleus, which is that deeper, smaller calf muscle that I talked about earlier. Stretch, up and squeeze, and I really emphasize at the top because I'm really trying to get that soleus working. Stretch, up and squeeze. So now I'm going to show you how we're doing it with the weight. We're just going to put a nice heavy dumbbell on the front of our legs for a little bit more downward resistance. Make sure this is nice and tight. Alright. It's not the most comfortable thing. You can put a towel under the dumbbell if you want. So up and push down. It's not a perfect arrangement. It's not quite as good as seated calf machine, but it does work. And if you're at home working out, this is one of your only options. So. But you will hit that soleus muscle for overall calf development. Let's get it. So basically you would do at least two sets of all of these. And I usually, just to finish up, get a really good burn. Doesn't matter if it takes 20 reps, 25 reps. You might do 5 to 10 single leg calf raises to get some fatigue, and then just as many double leg calf raises as possible. So you can do another set of everything right there. And then, very important to stretch out the calves against the wall. This out of the way. Push the back heel down to the ground. Breathe, hold at least 10 seconds. But after a workout like this, probably more like 15 to 20 seconds on each leg. I'm just going to switch now. And I'll show you a couple other calf stretches. 1, Another easy one is just to push your leg up against like a step or an incline of some sort and just kind of lean forward onto it. Do the other side. You can also just hang one leg at a time, get a good stretch. Again, always wait at least 10 seconds when you're stretching, no bouncing, nice breathing to allow your muscle to elongate. It basically allows the Golgi tendon organ to let the muscle stretch out. So that's important. Don't do any quick, bouncy, jerky stretches.